We are back at it again. Welcome back to the Soul Therapy channel. Today we're hitting up a bunch of stores, and more specifically the Nike outlet, and finding some crazy deals. First, we had to stop at Plato's Closet, one of my favorite used sneakers stores anywhere. I found these Jordans that admittedly nearly slipped out of my hands that seemed to be a fusion of a couple really nice models. When I first started Soul Therapy, shoes would be dropping out of my hands constantly as I was trying to figure out the camera angles and the way I wanted to record. Thankfully enough, with time, I've gotten better at it, but it still happens every so often. That Andrew Wiggins Minnesota jersey honestly brought me back to a different time in the NBA. I know it's a little bit irrelevant to sneakers, but it's kind of crazy how all the old generation is being phased out, the LeBrons, the Durants, in return for the new generation such as Anthony Edwards and SGA. They had some Nike Cortezes, and you know I've been in my Nike Cortez bag of late, but these weren't really worth copying in my opinion. They also had these Adidas Forum Highs. This is a white and red colorway, and I was really surprised that the materials on these were absolutely solid and buttery. They also had a pair of Flightposits, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in the first Spider-Man movie, Green Goblin rocks a green version of these shoes. And I'm a sucker for anything that has to do with that original movie. On feet today is the Jordan 4 Bred Reimagined. These have been growing on me a lot. I've been rocking them very consistently. Behind the counter, they had some Jordan 1 mids and these Air Force Ones that had crazy materials on them and swoosh with material hanging off of it. I decided to try my luck at Burlington. Ever so often you can find something decent. They had some Puma suedes. Now, these are an okay alternative to Sambas, and for $30 you really can't go wrong with them. They had some Adidas Climacools in this tan colorway, yet again another Foam Runner ripoff, and then they had genuine Foam Runner ripoffs. Like, these are absolutely just insane, and for $10, really wild to see. You've probably seen some Shaquille O'Neals at Walmart before, but never at Burlington. Still a funny sight to see as well. But yeah, let me put you guys on. These Puma suedes, especially this all black colorway, is an awesome everyday shoe, or just a work shoe if you needed something like that. I think maturing as a sneakerhead is moving past just having Jordans in your collection. While I love all the Jordan retros I have, I've also been eager to try something new, and I found a lot of great success doing so. Next up is Ross. This is the first Ross of the day. The second one, spoiler alert, we find some crazy stuff, but you're gonna have to wait to the very end of this video in order to do so, and don't you dare think of skipping towards then. Instead of skipping towards then, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe, join the Soul Therapy community. We would love to have you. They had some good basketball shoes for sure. Those James Hardens I actually owned previously, and they're a solid performer. They also had some Tracy McGrady's, which definitely gives me some Y2K vibes, and a couple of Nike sneakers as well. They also had a pair of all white NMDs, on sale for $44, which is crazy because I remember going in 2018 trying to find a pair and couldn't even get one at a retail store. They also had some Rookie of the Year MB2s, and you guys know how I feel about North Carolina Blue. Honestly, that's my favorite colorway of the MB2. If it was my size, it would have been an easy cop. Alright, enough of that, let's get to the heat. This is the Nike outlet store in Oak Brook, and they always have something worthwhile. These are the Nike Dunk Low Ultraman 2.0s. I found them on the back wall. Now for some context, they were on sale down to $120, and there was an additional 30% off everything on that back wall. My real sneakerheads know the trick. If you open a Nike account here, you get an additional 15% off. They also had some Jordan 1s and some Jordan 2s that don't sell particularly well. They also had these Jordan 1 mids with that Cacao Wow colorway with the embroidered blue swoosh. They also had these women's Nike Dunk Low. I really wish this was men's sizing. It would have been perfect. I thought those were awesome for summer, just unfortunately not my size. Take a look at this. The Jordan 1 High UNC at the outlet. Alright, let me be transparent. This was a size 14 and is the new release that's the golf version, but honestly, still finding that at the outlet on sale for an additional 30% off is ridiculous. It is crazy to me the amount of Jordan 1s that have been appearing at the outlet. I feel like almost all these past previous releases are just destined to end up here and be on sale. Now, if we look back in the context of sneaker history, the Storm Blue Jordan 1 Highs actually ended up at the Nike outlet back in like 2016, and now that shoe is worth upwards near $800 new. Oh yeah, by the way, I popped into this Goodwill, nothing. That just goes to show that every thrift shop is not going to always lead to something that is worthwhile. And sometimes I'll get some comments that my thrifting videos are fake when I find Jordans and Kobe's, and honestly, they're not fake. It's just that I don't record every single time I go to the Goodwill. Obviously, if there's nothing good there, I'm not gonna post a video for y'all. I went to the Oak Brook Champs and they had some really nice shoes here. The only problem is they changed the way that they laid out the shoes. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I feel like Champs has horrible lighting, especially for someone like me trying to record content. It's really hard to find spots to showcase the sneakers. This display pair of the Royal Reimagined was just absolutely shiesty. That shoe looked worn and beat, and it really had just been sitting there. The lighting in Champs must have done a number on those shoes. They honestly don't even look new anymore. But this new Tatum 2 colorway, amazing. Like, these are so much better than that launch colorway they decided to go with. I'm still not the biggest fan of the silhouette, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. They also had some tan and blue Ja Morants, and these are awesome. I think it's great to have a low priced entry sneaker like the Ja Morants that are a solid performer as well. Now, the great thing about Nordstrom is every once in a while you'll come across a shoe that you don't see in other retail stores. Of course, they have your Nike Dunk Lows, they have some Vumeros that you can find anywhere, but they also had these Gazelles with this gum bottom and the green Adidas 3 stripes. I thought that's a super nice touch. Good materials on these for sure. And I feel like that's the case with a lot of Adidas sneakers. I'm much more happier with the quality of the materials. Speaking of quality, Birkenstocks, I've been loving my pair. If you guys have not yet seen my review, make sure to do so. I reviewed the Boston Clog and the Tobacco. It's the oiled version colorway. Absolutely phenomenal shoe. And something that's just super easy to throw on, especially when I just got to do things around the house. Alright, the last stop of the day was pretty incredible. I went to Ross and they had a couple pairs of Air Max 1s. This is the black and white Panda colorway, phenomenal colorway for summer, and for $60, that's an absolute steal. They also had these Blazer Highs, these are an SB versions, for $13. Insane. Like, $13 for a brand new shoe is unheard of, especially Nike shoes. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you join that Discord.